The most effective arm of the South African government collects 2 trillion a year and still has a website that logs you out mid-sentence. It's a Tuesday evening. You finally sat down to do your e-filing, which you've been putting off since the filing season opened in July, because something about the word filing makes you want to do the laundry instead. You open the browser, you type the URL, you log in, and SARS immediately logs you out. But because you want to do the right thing, you log in again. But the chatbot appears, and it's not asking if you need help. It's directly sitting on top of the OTP button. You try to click around it, you cannot. You close the chatbot, you click the OTP button, and SARS logs you out again. This is the institution that crossed 2 trillion in net revenue last financial year. The same people who recruited 1,500 new debt collectors specifically to come after you if you did not pay. Who issued the final demand and civil judgments in the last quarter of 2025 with a firmness nobody in the non-compliant tax community had seen coming. And they cannot make the button you need accessible without a workaround. But tax did not begin with SARS. Neither did tax begin in South Africa. Let's trek back all the way to 3000 BC. The pharaoh in Egypt sent his debt collectors on an annual tour of the kingdom in an event called the Shemsu-Ho, following the Horus. They assessed your livestock. They calculated your grain. They took 20%. No form to fill in, no e-filing, no OTP, just a man with a ledger, your harvest, and an expectation that was older than writing. The Sumerians were doing a similar thing between the Tigris and the Euphrates at roughly around the same time. And Julius Caesar later introduced the first flat sales tax across the Roman Empire. 1% on anything bought and sold, clear and empire-wide. Caesar knew something SARS is yet to fully embrace. The simpler the system, the harder it is to avoid. So, when did the jargon arrive? When did tax become a language that only some people speak? Because here's what a Tuesday evening with e-filing actually looks like. You receive an ITA 34. That is your notice of assessment. What SARS says you owe them or they owe you after reviewing your tax return. You also receive an SOA, Pictolizzi, statement of account, which is different from the ITA 34 in ways that require a paragraph to explain. Your employer has already filed an IT3A on your behalf, a certificate confirming what income you've received. The ITR, this gets worse every time. Oh my God. Then there's the ITR12, which is the actual form you fill in. Then there's an IT3B that covers investment income if you have it. 5 documents, 5 names, all of them essential and none of them intuitive, and all of them waiting in a portal that will log you out before you even finished reading them. The portrait of SARS, though, deserves its full due, because underneath the chatbot and the session timeouts is an institution that has grown revenue collection at 6.8% compounded annually for 7 years. 304 billion secured through compliance interventions in 2024-2025 alone. A 16.7% increase on the year before. Over 27 million individuals on the personal tax income register by 2024. And the most recent financial year, 110.9 billion collected in tax debt recovery, with a target of 120 billion for the year ahead. They are coming. The question is whether they are coming for you or with you. Now that depends on you. If you earn 95,750 rands a year, you are in the system. The obligation is not optional. It is not conditional on whether the website behaves. Ignore a letter from SARS long enough, and the penalties begin at 25% of what you owe and can reach up to 200%. Add interest to that little delicious pot. Add a civil judgment to that delicious pot. Add in extreme cases where the possibility of criminal prosecution comes into play. Up to 2 years for a debt that started because the OTP button was hard to click. And unfortunately, SARS will not be on the receiving end of that irony. You will. My relationship with SARS was beautiful for a while until it wasn't. And it was hey, yo guys, SARS is the bane of my existence. So during my years as a student, I used to work, do locum work, and every time around tax season, I would be getting money from SARS. Like, my relationship with SARS was like, you guys say you owe SARS? They owe me. And that's the only way I knew. So the first interaction I had with SARS is that on this year, they owed me money. And they've owed me money from 2017, 18, 19, 20, 21, 20. So imagine 5 to 6 years of just being owed money by SARS. And then the things changed. Things changed very painfully in 2023. I now owe SARS. Am I not the one calling them with a panic in my voice? I'm like, guys, I owe so much money. I can't pay this money. Like, are you sure this money is right? Like, come on, guys, how do you expect me to pay this money? It's a lot of money. What do you mean? And the lady said to me was the most humbling thing I've ever heard. I'll also say, very unsettling. She was just like, when we owe you money, we just pay you. And we don't get a call from you about what the money that you are getting is, what's that. So now that you owe us, just do the same thing. Just pay. That was painful. That was my first reckoning with SARS, and we've been at odds ever since. Okay, SARS is not my friend, but I will pay him what I owe him whenever I need to pay him what I owe him. That's just the reality of it. So for you, check your auto assessment when it arrives. Look at your IT3A and confirm if it reflects your actual income. Keep the IT3A, which is also referred to as IRP5, maybe. You're familiar with that? Keep the IT3A certificate your employer issues. If you are unsure, Tax Tim exists and costs less than one penalty. This is not a paid advertisement. Anyway, and if the website logs you out, close the browser, breathe, and try again. Because the one thing that has not changed in 5,000 years, from the Pharaoh's great grain collectors to the 1,500 new debt collectors SARS hired last year, is this. They have never once decided that inconvenience was a valid reason to let you off. The government needs your taxes, and on some level, so do you. So, leave what comes to your mind after listening to this in the comments, and let's cry together. let's have a crying session about SARS, because tax season is upon us. Do you owe SARS, or does SARS owe you? That is it from me today. Please subscribe to the Daily Development Dose, and you will be hearing from me tomorrow. Sayonara! The IRT12 is the form. The IT3A, ITA, oh my goodness.